Good afternoon, Clark Cubs. This is Mr. Shields, and I'm coming to you with some important information about advanced math for your sixth grade student going into next school year. The Texas legislature has created a new bill and a new law called Senate Bill 2124 that will affect your student going into advanced math placement next year. And so I wanted to provide you with some information so you're armed with all the information and knowledge going forward. And then at the end of the video, I will also provide you an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have going forward. So here we go, let's jump into it. So first of all, let's talk about the purpose of Senate Bill 2124. Essentially, the state is looking to increase the number of students who are enrolled in Algebra 1 in 8th grade. Right now, most students who take Algebra 1 in 9th grade. But again, the state is looking to increase the number of students who are enrolled in Algebra 1 in 8th grade. Additionally, they're looking to increase the number of students who complete advanced mathematics courses in high school. And those courses are like AP Calculus AB and AP Calculus BC. So how does that affect your sixth grade student now? That's really what we're going to talk about today and what that plan looks like going forward for your student. Okay, so let's talk about the changes that Senate Bill 2124 has created. So first of all, in the past, schools have had some autonomy when placing students in advanced math. And while we have never been gatekeepers to advanced math, we looked at a lot of different data pieces when considering making informed decisions about student placement in advanced math. So we may have looked at previous grades, we may have looked at previous STAR scores in both math and reading. We might have looked at district assessments like the CFAs, the interims, and classroom assessments, and also teacher and parent observations. Senate Bill 2124 has changed the game a little bit when talking about enrollment for sixth grade students. And so, Senate Bill 2124 essentially says that any student that scores in the 60th percentile or higher, which is the equivalent to the top 40% on the statewide scores on their grade 5 mathematics STAR, are automatically enrolled in advanced math. Again, so if your student scored in the 60th percentile or higher, or the top 40% of the statewide scores, they will be automatically enrolled in grade 5 math. So, how does that decision come about? We'll take you to this chart just for a second. First of all, the top 40% or the 60th percentile cut scale score was 1666. And so there's this nice black line that kind of gives us where your student fell. If your student scored higher than a 1666, they will be automatically enrolled in advanced math. Let's just take that another level. Anybody that scored below this black line will be automatically placed in advanced math. Now, you're probably like, well, maybe I haven't checked my scores yet. If you have not, scores are available. They were available starting on June 14th. You can access your STAR scores using the TEA Family Portal. I will also have a link to this in the email that I send, so you can access it that way as well. Okay, now let's talk about some important differences between advanced math and level math and those placements. First of all, when we talk about level versus advanced math, the two biggest differences are the curriculum and the pacing. There are also some differences with expectations such as homework, but the biggest differences again are curriculum and pacing. So some things to consider as you're thinking about your student in advanced math. First of all, does your student like math? Do they have a natural number sense? Do they think flexibly? Are they able to show that resiliency, especially when math gets hard, or for that matter, when any other subject gets difficult? Think about mathematical behaviors. Are they justifying their thinking, or are they able to explain the how and why they got to specific answers? In advanced math, they're going to have to justify their thinking, show their work. And while that happens in level math as well, it is even that more important in advanced math. Think about that math fact fluency. Are they able to easily retrieve basic math facts from their long-term memory in all four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, without a lot of conscious effort? And that's a huge part of that. And then are they able to manipulate numbers mentally with ease? And another thing to consider is, do they access math at a quicker pace than their peers? Again, these are all just things to consider as you're thinking about advanced math versus level math. You're receiving this message in this video because your student last year was in on-level 5th grade math. However, we do know that some students did take advanced math last year, and so I do want to talk to you a little bit about the differences between 5th grade advanced math and 5th grade level math, but also what 6th grade advanced math looks like as well. Students who took 5th grade advanced math got all of the 5th grade TEKS and approximately 50% of the 6th grade TEKS. So some of the things that they learned in 5th grade advanced math were division, including decimal divisors, all operations with fractions, non-unit fractions with multiplication and division, integers, proportionality, which is a 6th grade unit. And those 5th grade topics that they covered are covered at a much faster rate than they're covered in a level class. For instance, division is covered in 12 days in advanced math compared to 21 days in a level math class. With that being said, with your student moving into 6th grade advanced math, what their year will look like is they will cover all of the 6th grade TEKS, 100% of the 6th grade TEKS, and approximately 50% of the 7th grade TEKS, which will include rational numbers, all operations, area and volume, including circles, two-step equations and inequalities, which is a 7th grade unit, probability, which is a 7th grade unit. And again, 6th grade topics are covered at a much faster rate than level. So, for instance, rational numbers are covered in 7 days compared to 19 days. Now that sounds scary. I want you to know, here at Clark, and I can say across Conroe ISD, we know that there will be students who were in on-level math last school year who will now be in advanced math. Our teachers will be working with your students to help to support them through this transition process. If this is a decision that your family makes and continues with, we will continue with small group instruction. We will make sure that we have put in those supports to make sure your student is learning and growing. Okay, so let's talk about the progression of math from 5th grade to 7th grade, and again, how this affects your student particularly. So, looking at the chart to our left prepared for our district, students who are in 5th grade advanced math are automatically enrolled in 6th grade advanced math. But now with Senate Bill 2124, 5th grade students who are in on-level mathematics now also have a path to 6th grade advanced math if they score that top 40% on their 5th grade math star, which then leads into 7th grade, where they have the ability to take 7th grade pre-algebra honors. There's also a possibility of taking Algebra 1 in 7th grade. However, that's not the subject of this video, but it does require taking an exam or going to summer school. There are details down below that you can read a little bit more about that if you would like to. And then we offer some sessions in the spring about what that looks like. If a student continues on the path of being in 5th grade on level mathematics, then they would go into 6th grade on level mathematics, and then that does not take away their options to do 7th grade pre-algebra honors or 7th grade pre-algebra. It's just we'll take a different path. Again, I will be following that CBE or summer school path. But the important thing to remember is none of these things take away your options. Sometimes kids progress at different levels and need different levels of math at different times. And that just takes us to the larger progression of our district. And this is math progression from 5th grade to 12th grade. Again, students have a variety of ways to getting into those advanced math classes. This is just another avenue for students to be able to get there. But again, if they score within the top 40% on that math, we are automatically required to place them in advanced math. As we near the end of this presentation, it's important that we talk a little bit about growth mindset as we talk about advanced math. Mathematics is not solely about getting the answer right, but it's about the process and having that productive struggle. And we know math for a lot of students is not as easy as some other subjects. And so it's going to take encouraging students to think outside of the box, to really focus on the process versus the correct answer. And students will thrive. They'll meet those expectations if we give them the right amount of productive struggle. With that being said, they have to have a growth mindset, and we have to have a growth mindset as we move into this new chapter in mathematics. With that being said, we also do need to consider what are our students' tolerance for stress when they're struggling. If they get too overwhelmed, then we have to know when to pull back and all of those things. Then one thing to also keep in mind as we wrap this presentation and as we talk about advanced math is about growth. So as a family, are you okay with your student making a C in advanced math, whereas they may have made an A in a level math class? Again, these are things you just need to consider. Advanced math is about teaching kids how to become more independent, how to make mistakes, but how to come back from those mistakes. And then lastly, how to be a problem solver. So let's talk a little bit about the timeline of all of this. On July 8th, you will receive an electronic letter from Conroe ISD that will tell you that your student is in advanced math, has been placed in advanced math. Again, you can probably predict if your student will be in advanced math based on what their score is on STAR, but you will receive an official letter from Conroe ISD on July 8th. It will give you a lot of information. It will give you an opportunity to reach out to our counselors or myself to have a dialogue about if this is the right choice for your child or the right placement for your child. Now, many of you probably have the question of, can my child try 6th grade advanced math and then if it isn't working, be moved? Unfortunately, we will not be able to accommodate a lot of changes once school has started. As our master schedule has been built, we built specific seats for different classes. There will not be a lot of availability to move. So, talk with your family. This is the right decision for your family and this placement is what you would like to keep. Then you don't have to do anything else. However, if you would like to look at some different options, please reach out to your counselor or myself by July 29th. Again, please reach out to your counselor or myself by July 29th so we can have the appropriate dialogue and conversation about placement. And then what if you have more specific questions about advanced math placement and this automatic placement? Well, at the end of this presentation and in the email that you will receive, you have an opportunity to first acknowledge that you know about the new law, but also you will be able to ask any questions that you may have. And from all of the questions that you parents send, I'm going to create an FAQ that I will send back out to you so you have all of the questions that you may have answered. And as always, you're always able to reach out to me, reach out to your child's counselor, and we will help walk you through this process as well. So this is kind of what the acknowledgement looks like. It has your name, your child's name, as well as your student ID, which is also their lunch number, and also a place for you to ask any questions. Remember, this is not saying that your child will be placed or won't be placed in advanced math. We are required to place your child in advanced math. This is an opportunity for you to ask any questions and to acknowledge that you know about the new law. If you do have questions about your child being in this placement, after July 8th, please reach out to myself or your child's counselor. Information will be in the email. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation, and we hope you're having a great summer.